Welcome to the Gavel. I am Terry Ikubi. Parliament is still on recess and expected to resume plenary on the 2nd of July. But committees have continued their engagement. So let's begin with the Joint Senate and House Committee on Gas, which is investigating the Train 7 project of the Nigeria liquefied natural gas located in Bonny Island, Rivers State. The lawmakers are querying the several variations in the project as well as the status of the project. The interactive session was also attended by contractors working on the project.
The Senate and House Committees on Gas are meeting with representatives of the Nigeria liquefied natural gas to get update on the status of the NLNG Train 7 located in Bonny Island, Rivers State.
Thank you.
The interactive session is also attended by contractors working on the project. The lawmakers had earlier received some documents from the NLNG on the operations of the project, and this session gives them the opportunity to clarify some grey areas in the document. The contentious issues include lack of information and explanation on the original contract sum, which was about $4.4 billion, as well as the variations since the commencement of the project in June 2021.
This committee will want to know the difference between variations and claims. It is very, very important because I have it on good authority, and from what you have written here, original contractor claim request is $922 million. An original company offer was $83 million. On the issue of claims, what is the status of that negotiation between LNG and the consortium, please?
Here you are saying, presently, you have about 10,000 persons working. That means you have created jobs for about 9,000 Nigerians in that singular project, probably on site and in the office administratively. I would also ask, I want you to clarify that. The second question is on the expatriates. For the 1,000, do they all have valid permits?
Issues have arisen where there are disputes as to variations put forward by the companies, and the LNG is disputing those claims. They are negotiating that. Variations do not come by just, you say I want us to pay us this. There must be justification for the variations. Something must have occasioned those variations. And that was why I said that the MD, or rather SIPEM and the WHO, must speak to us and tell us what occasioned those variations they are demanding that they should be paid.
I can see the total contract sum as $3 billion. And I've also seen that there are variation of that and approved claims. As of now, do you have the value of the revised contract price? Or is the $4.3 million inclusive of the approved variations and approved amendments? Number two, you have a total variation request of 99 variation requests, and you have approved 62 out of the variation requests, which is the variation orders. How many of these 62 are technical, and how many are orders? If you don't have it, maybe this can be provided after. The third question, you have approved amendments, which is claims and settlements. How does it relate to your offer of $83 million from $922 million claim, which you said is ongoing claims negotiation? In ongoing claims negotiation, how do we correlate your offer of $83 million to the $35 million that you have approved in claims and settlements? 4, you have variation requests that you have evaluated, that is 5, which is $7.6 million. How does this validation request also correlate with the 99 requests and the 62 that you have approved? Because you have 99 requests, you have 62. Where does this 5 come from?
The NLNG team explains the benefits of the project when completed and goes on to provide answers to some of the issues raised.
Most of the variations have come from regulatory changes and what have you. In principle, we tried to put in a contract such that it's EPC and the whole responsibility of delivering this project is by the contractor, and we try not to intervene at all. So by that, there are limits or there are limitations in respect of creating variations. In terms of confirming the percentage of work, that if you go to site, would you indeed see 67% of the work and the personnel that are involved and what have you? Indeed, we as NLNG, as a company, we thrive and are proud of what we're doing, and if there's something we're not doing, we don't try to say we're doing it. So you're most welcome to come and see the beautiful work that we're doing. In terms of the currencies involved, indeed, you all know better than I do that there's no single currency in this world that remains the same for so many years. And we do have that situation in which we are now, that within the last 1 year has been biting on even Nigerians are feeling the pain. With the contract that we signed, yes, the people, Nigerians, are being paid in Nigeria, in Naira, and there's been some great fluctuations over the time. And each time we do that, in trying to have an accounting policy in one bit, we do refer to the exchange rate as at that time. And that exchange rate is what I say brings about these variations. From the day we started till today, each and everybody knows that it is not the same Naira value that we have from before until today. And other currencies themselves do change. To the second question, that's mine, or except if we're going to go one by one, where the second one is for contractor. With respect to documents, I could go on with the Nigerian, with our own questions, but I want to be directed how this you want to progress. The next question is with regards to 7,000 and workers on site, what you got. What we presented in this document did not say workers on site. It said people working and involved on this project. So there are people who are based in Port Harcourt, people who are based in Lagos, people who are based in Milan doing design and so on. So those people working on the project in totality is what I say persons on board on the project are 10,000.
The NLNG explains that the project is expected to increase the company's production capacity from the current 22 million tons per annum to 30 million tons. However, the lawmakers queried a clause in the document that restricts the information that can be provided by the team. The committee subsequently adjourns to reconvene on July 3, 2024.
Now, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petitions has issued a final summons to the GMD of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mr. Mele Kyari, after he failed to honor previous invitations. The committee chairman, Michael Etaba, was visibly upset, stating that Mr. Kyari has repeatedly disrespected the House with his refusal to honor invitations. Take a listen.
Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petitions sat within the week to hear a petition against the NNPCL and Ajip Oil Company, alleging a debt of 80 million naira owed private companies.
It is so unfortunate.
Right away, the lawmakers were visibly upset as the NNPCL GMD, Mr. Mele Kyari, was absent. The lawmakers describe him as a repeat offender.
This is one of the matters that I think my colleagues should be aware that if there is any disregard and disrespect for this House, this is one of the matters that the whole world need to hear. There is no time we have invited Melikari and he appeared before the House, most especially in this committee, a parliament that Mr. President respects. And he comes here to do his rituals on a yearly basis by presenting his annual budget to the parliament. So if you are holding the mandate that Mr. President has given to you on behalf of Nigerians, and this is the House of the people, and these same Nigerians voted all the members in this committee and in this House, this 10th Assembly. And this 10th Assembly will summon you for how many times are you are not here?
I don't know who is protecting who, but I do know that nobody is above the law. And there is no immunity covering Mr. Kari. The only person that has immunity in this country are the governors and the president and the vice president. And Mr. Kari does not have immunity. He is subject to the laws of Nigeria.
Mr. Chairman, I think especially Mr. Kari, we need to know what to do about him because he's not above Nigeria, he's not above this country. He has done this thing several times and this will be the end of it. If you give him another chance and he fails to appear, we will have to use the power bestowed on this House.
It is imperative that even if he's not available, that someone is here to represent him. Kari is a fine geologist and a fine oil and gas marketer who is now running the NNPC. The president, before appointing someone like Kari, must have taken time to dissect his personality to know that nobody is above the law. However, I would like to crave the indulgence of my honorable colleagues for us to be slightly more diplomatic. Let us not invoke past our legislative powers that may adversely affect what we are here to resolve.
The committee reaches a resolution and the meeting is adjourned.
We'll give them a window. It's the first hearing. You adopted your petition today. So we need to take it calm and allow them that window for fair hearing. We can't stand for them. They need to speak for themselves. So everything you've done, your submissions you've made, we cannot respond to them. We can't ask you questions because they have not responded. Maybe if they respond, they will tell us they are not owing you. So on that note, we'll just give them a short adjournment. And this adjournment will be 26th of June 2024. 26th of June 2024. If they fail to appear, then we will invoke our powers as legislators and as a committee and as a house. So this matter for now will be adjourned to 26th of June 2024.
Welcome back to the Gavel. Now, the Senate has maintained that there is no executive influence in the running of the affairs of the Red Chamber, adding that the lawmakers are planning to expeditiously pass the new national minimum wage bill if it gets to the National Assembly immediately after the Salah break. Following a briefing by the Senate spokesperson, here's a special report that looks at the 10th Senate so far.
Exactly 1 year ago, members of the 10th Senate assumed office and elected Senator Godswill Akpabio as the president of the Senate.
I, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Commander of the Order of the Niger,
do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
The election into the leadership of the Senate is always greeted with tension, and the 10th Senate was not immune. The election of the principal officers of the Senate did not go smoothly, as some members of the minority caucus questioned the emergence of the principal officers.
I just want to plead with my colleagues to understand that My job here is not to take individual opinions or to work on the basis of what is convenient to you.
In every situation, some people will be for and some people will be against. And that's the spirit of democracy. But the preponderance of opinion takes the day.
There's no crack in the Senate. You don't know. Yes, the parties may differ, but we are one. It's a gradual process, but we are getting it right.
In the period under review, the lawmakers passed the 2024 budget in line with the January to December cycle. The drama that has always trailed budget passage in the parliament reared its head as some lawmakers alleged budget padding by the Senate leadership.
It's no new thing. I have here a copy of the last 3 budgets that was passed. All the details of these agencies I've mentioned are not contained in this document.
The senator representing Bauchi Central, Senator Abdul Ninge, was eventually suspended over his alleged accusation.
Having posted falsehood, is hereby suspended.
The 10th National Assembly prides itself in its legislative agenda, which the leadership considered people-centric. 1 year down the road, the lawmakers have initiated 477 bills, of which 25 have been passed into law, while 120 resolutions were reached. The Senate composed 74 standing committees from the 63 committees under the 9th Senate. The Senate spokesman, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, believes the Senate has done well for Nigerians and gives his ratings.
I can rate the performance put together, the 3 aspects, that is lawmaking, oversight functions, and advocacy for the constituencies. I can rate us 9/10.
He also speaks on passage of the national minimum wage.
To the National Assembly. But when it comes, whatever is there and whatever is not there, we are going to ensure that it's going to be watertight. That either it is state or national or organized private sector that is not complying, then there's going to be sanction for it.
One issue that has trailed the leadership of the Senate is the report that the executive has a major influence on the activities of lawmakers.
Our policy is very simple. It's people-centered. We are more interested in what benefits Nigerians. Sometimes even the government brings out policies and we'll shoot the policy down because we believe that the timing is wrong for the benefit of Nigerians.
On Constituency Focus this week, we'll speak with Honorable Leke Bejide, representing Yagba East, Yagba West, Mukpamuro Federal Constituency of Kogi State, on how he is meeting the needs of his constituents, primarily in the area of representation.
I started with empowerment. I started looking at the poorest of the poor. How can I uplift them? Because I discovered that some of them, with just maybe somebody have 30,000 naira, he will be able to establish little business. That is why I now discovered, let me go into empowerment. I started with that in 2019 December. And since then, it too has been ongoing. I came to year 2020, I did mega empowerment, whereby I empower most of the constituents across the 3 local governments in terms of giving them tools, mechanical tools, electrical tools, grinding machine, sewing machine, water pump, generator, clippers, hair dryer, and vehicles, uncountable number of vehicles for those that are into transportation business. And that is where I started from, which is I'm still doing. Even recently that as I went home, I still give out vehicles to women so that they can be going to market, buy things and carry their goods, sell them. And I also provided, recently I did empowerment, do not mega one like one I used to do before, because the time of mega one is usually end of the year. We give them tricycles. This tricycle is not the one that carry passengers. It's one they use to carry items from the farm. then it can carry sand, tip on its own. So if you have one, it's about 2 million each. So if you have one, it means you can sustain your family. There's even a brother that has been finding it difficult every time he'll be sending messages to me. He was the first person I said this would give. They gave him, when I went home, he said now in a month he's able to save 60 to 70,000 after eating. So that means his son now is coming out of poverty a little. Starting from there, then roads. I decided that I want to open roads. There are some roads that have never been opened. They have been there for years. They look like footpaths. I brought bulldozers everywhere, just like you are seeing here now. Though my own is not like I have FCT on, but I make sure I open all these roads. We bulldoze them, we grade them. Some we did surface dressing, some we did asphalt on them. And part of the one that we did asphalt on now, we just finished the one that the budget could do. That's about 8 kilometers thereabouts. There's another one, that one is surface dressing. That one is about 5 kilometers surface dressing. So, but we are not stopping there. I'm already planning that, God help me, in this my tenure, I want all these roads done. And thank God, this government of Baba President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is focusing more on infrastructures. If you watch, even judging from Abuja, you will see how things are turning around. And that is what is going to replicate across all the 365 constituencies and 109 Central District. This, I can promise my people that before this first time around out, they should expect more from me in terms of road projects in my federal constituency. And education also was my priority. Ever before I came into government, I've been paying WAEC fees for the children. When I came, I discovered that most of our children are not paying. So I took it upon myself. I've been paying for them going 6 years now. Thank God this new governor that came, Governor Usman Ododo, came and paid the WAEC fees for the first time. You know, he's a new governor, but for the past 8 years they have not been paying, but he came and paid WAEC. So for public schools, I do pay for both public and private schools. So they didn't take care of the private school, but at least he has done something. He tried by paying public school. I paid the private schools this year. And that is how I have been doing and taking care of our people, especially the widows. Our programs for them on a yearly basis. In fact, because of the level of hunger now, very soon I'm coming out with a very wonderful program for them, because we must eliminate hunger in our land.
And that's it on the Gavel this week. Thanks for your time. I'm Terry Ikumi. Send feedback to the Gavel@channelstv.com. Goodbye.